I'm walking after Marcy Playground and your popularity.
With this remixes from Wonderland album, fans are able to put their own stamp on the Marcy Playground songs. How important was this fan participation to you?
It was important to get everybody. I mean, it was really nice to have fans do it, but you know, Indaba is it's a place where pretty much anybody can go and get involved in music and collaborating with music, and even if you don't know much about music, you can still take some of these tracks and edit them and move around. It's just like in GarageBand, you know, they have this sort of online browser-based editing thing that you can just mess around with the songs, and so I think it was incredible to get anybody involved in it. Anybody who wasn't us, you know, that was the goal. It's all about collaborating and, you know, collaborating with people who don't normally get an opportunity to do that sort of thing, and to see what they could do and what they're capable of and how creative they were, and it blew our minds. I mean, it was amazing.
What led you to want to release an album like this, and was it just to show that what the online community can do, or was there more to it than that?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to selfishly take advantage of, you know, the fact that there's so many awesome musicians out there that, you know, will have, you know, add to what it is that we do, and get a record out there. And this was, you know, also a way to get these people, because, you know, we've given them, this record's about them. You know, everybody who did a remix on this record has an equity interest in the album. You know, they get royalties for the remix. And so it's a win-win for both of us. You know, it was like they get something cool, they get to have fun and partake, you know, in this cool process, and we got to take part in it. And it was just really cool all around, I think.
You guys even judged the songs yourself. Was there anything in particular that you were looking for while you were judging? And can you give any examples of what you liked in a particular remix that was chosen?
Yeah, you know, I had a pretty open mind about it going in because, you know, I've done A&R and stuff and listened to lots of people's demos and lots of people's recordings, and had to judge on that level too. I had to judge music, and this was not too dissimilar to that. It was kind of like, you know, it was just 340 remixes that I had to go through and listen to one at a time. And what I used to do when I was doing A&R is I would just get a notebook and take notes on every single track, and you know, keep a list of, you know, who it was who did it, what they were titling it, and then take notes on it. And you know, I was looking for, I guess, uniqueness first and foremost, something that grabbed my ear, something I thought was special and particularly creative, and you know, Sonics was part of it too, because yeah, you know, so there's a lot of elements that I look for, but I think the most important element is, did I just hear something I liked? You know, did I hear something that connected with me? But you know, if you listen to the recordings, they're all incredibly different from one another. And from the way that they were originally, like, for example, Star Baby, it's just an a cappella, like almost barbershop quartet sounding piece of music. You know, now I had stripped all of the instruments out of it and added vocals and stuff to it, so that's really unique. You know, there was amazing stuff that I had to not pick, and it might have been even more commercial, but I didn't choose it because I thought that, you know, the stuff I chose, I thought was the right creative, you know, those were the right creative choices, to create an eclectic album and show what people can do and show how different styles, how many different styles are out there. So I thought Star Baby was amazing. I mean, I think they're all amazing. You know, Max Karlov's version of Blackbird, I think, is incredible. It's very, I mean, it's just great. And Ben Korea's version of Gin and Money just makes me feel like, it makes me want to roller skate. It really does. It's just like, oh, I'm going to strap on some roller skates, listen to this, and go to the rink. Yeah, I like them all.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you learned while listening to all the submitted remixes? That
I'm okay with people not only am I okay with it, because you got to be pretty courageous to as a musician. Musicians are typically insecure, especially when they have your soloed vocal tracks. Singers particularly are insecure, but I'm really not. I'm not that insecure. And I've sort of figured that out as we were going through this process, because I started to hear, my soloed up vocals. We call in the recording studio, when you solo a vocal, you call it putting it through the humiliatron, and sometimes it feels like that. But I thought these guys did a really good job of with their remixes, and I felt like I was in good hands with everybody. I didn't feel like anybody was disrespectful with the tracks. They were very respectful, and just had a great time, and tried to make their best remixes they could. And, nobody did like anything embarrassing. So I learned that it can be done, and it can be done in a positive way, and everybody can have fun doing this. And the online music collaboration is the wave of the future in some respects.
How do you feel the remixes change the feel of the live show?
No, they haven't at all. Our live show is 100% separate from the remix stuff. The remix stuff it's a studio phenomenon. It's a recording based thing. It's not a performance based thing. So it didn't really change we've never brought out tracks to play live. You know what I mean? Like, we've never played recordings live, backing tracks, and never will. Even though it sounds awesome on a record, it's just not something we would ever do.
What would you say are some of the most significant changes that you've noticed within the industry since the band first started until now? And do you feel that those changes help or hinder the band?
Well, there's not as much. There's not as much. I hate to get into this sort of thing, like the changes in the music business, because this has been talked about and re-talked about, and rehashed, about how fewer records are getting sold, and more downloading and stuff like that. Whatever. We all download music from time to time, and I don't really know. I don't know how it's affected us really, because we took a bunch of years off, and we took a break. I ran a recording studio for 7 years, and I had a family, and life intercedes, and and you have to just whatever. You have to sort of look at it like that. Like, we took time off. I'm not really our career back then in those days was based around Sex and Candy. That was the hit at the time, and we were touring on it. And then it became about other things later on, and so I don't know. We won the rock and roll lottery back then, so I can look at it and say things were amazing back then, and they suck now, because it's different now. But I'm not going to do that. I think it's the same world. It's different music. It's a different time. But I think the music business is always going to be there. There's always going to be record labels, as long as people want to buy records or buy music. I don't know that it's going to have as much, influence and affluence as it did in the past. And I think also that you can do this yourself nowadays. That's what kids are discovering, that they can, in fact, do some of this stuff themselves. Like, they can promote themselves, and they can raise the interest of a major record label after they've gone and sold a bunch of records, and then their business. I don't think that was really the case before. Before, you had to go out and play your butt off, and go to a place like New York and get noticed and send your demos around. Nowadays, you can get noticed on MySpace. So I think that's good. I think young artists have a little bit of a better because of that.